This is a very important notice before starting the FGC checklist or any other learning series out there. You are doing this for fun. Fun is not your end goal, the entire journey itself should be fun. In the following videos, I'll be trying to teach you my way of learning fighting games. The goal being for you to reach a level in your play where you can independently keep on growing. So you will know how to learn, where to learn, what to learn, and why to learn it whilst moving on your own. This strive to better yourself, seeing how far you've come after going at it for some time and looking up and noticing what there's still left to achieve, should all be fun. Fun isn't, and should never be, the end goal. If the entire journey isn't fun, then why bother? So in this prelude to the How to Learn series, I'll be giving you some homework to test your fun levels, get you in the mood and set you off in the right direction. If you're already raring to go, picked a character, know and are capable of performing all their moves, just check yourself in the mirror to see if there's a smile beaming from ear to ear, and then you're ready to move on to lesson 1. For those not quite there yet, let's see if we can deal with ourselves whilst learning, shall we? Learning is time-consuming, stupid and boring and, well, mostly repetitive. I wish learning was more like my favourite hobby, that I spent multiple hours a week on, repeating the same thing because I think it's fun and getting better at it. Wait a minute. Regular learning and working on your hobbies aren't too dissimilar. Both take time, practice and repetition, and at the end you'll have learned a new skill or gotten better at something you could already do. So how do you make sure learning and getting better at fighting games stays fun and engaging? If possible, try to vary up the ways in which you practice. In the coming videos, I'll be explaining some key things that are important to train and get better at, and how you can best train them. Some of these exercises lend themselves perfectly well to be trained in other modes besides the training mode. So as long as you keep the goal of what you're training in mind, you can practice these in more engaging modes like arcade or survival, or even online, or at locals, dependent on the skills you're working on. However, there are certain things that could be very difficult or might even be completely worthless when trained outside of training mode. Think of things like consistency training. A good way to make these fun or more engaging is to set a rewards or punishment for yourself. I know a lot of people who swear by sit-ups or push-ups when they mess up X amount of times to get refreshed and get back into it, or others who let themselves go and get a quick snack once they reach a successful repetition set. What works best for you is entirely personal, but in this series we will be discussing multiple views on how to keep things fun and engaging. Before moving on to my next video, make sure you do the following. Choose a game, preferably one that looks cool to you and has more than one player playing it. Then, choose a character in this game, once again, preferably one that looks cool to you and, well, that's it really. And finally, make sure you know and are able to do all their moves facing both sides of the screen. Try to do any of their moves that feature special commands, basically any move that requires you to do more than press a single button, 5 to 10 times when facing to the right, and 5 to 10 times when facing to the left. Try to find a way to make this engaging for you, especially if you notice yourself struggling. Put on a podcast or some of your favorite music, do some sort of exercise in between, whatever. Or even put the game down and mix it up by doing something else entirely, allowing your hands to rest and your brain to work on it a bit more. You'll be surprised how much taking a little break can do for you. Okay, did all that? Time to move on to the first video in the series. FGC Checklist Lesson 1, Dealing with Your Opponent. See you there.